so we are reviewing the Crunch Cup. Now, supposedly this is the XL, although it doesn't say XL anywhere here on the package. It also looks like the package has been tampered with, opened. Let's just check it out. Looks like we have a 2-year warranty going on here. So the principle here is a 2-chambered container. 1 chamber for the milk and the other chamber for the cereal. And you should be able to pour them out into your mouth at the same time using, I believe, this little air hole here to kind of control the flow of the milk. All right, so this is the inner chamber. I believe that is for the cereal. And the outer chamber is for the milk. I think these are the instructions right here. All right, I've read the instructions, so let's wash this thing and see how it works. All right, so I got this thing washed, so let's do it. Just first, put milk in here. You can fill it up to this mark. You can probably barely see, maybe there. Put some milk in here first. That's gonna be good enough for our purposes. Okay. Now, the instructions do say to make everything really tight. One of the things I read about this was that there can be some cross leakage between the milk and the cereal. Like as you're using it, some of the milk can somehow get inside the cereal and the cereal becomes a big glob and sticky and it doesn't work too well. So I'm gonna try to at least make sure that doesn't happen through the cup itself. All right, next, take this out. It says it can hold about 1.5 cups of cereal. Just lost some, okay. I think I just maxed that out. I'm gonna pop this white piece back into place. This is you line up the grooves. We'll do that here carefully. All right, so here is the test. I got everything pretty much as tight as I can get it, and for some reason I'm scared. I don't know why, but here we go. It kind of worked. Now, I'm not actually hungry enough to finish this whole thing, but I feel like I have to so I can fully test this cup. So bear with me. I'll come back when I've finished it all. All right, I'm going to see if I can control the milk flow with this little hole here. Kind of hard to see, but that's the little hole you're supposed to be able to cover up to control the flow as well. So I'm going to try to use that. That didn't do squat. Not quite done yet, but if you look real closely here, you can see some milk kind of starting to get between the threads of this here. So I got it pretty much as tight as I can get it, but there's still some milk kind of getting in between there. All right, so I finished. I'd say the biggest challenge with this thing is actually kind of trying to keep the cereal coming out and controlling the flow of milk at the same time. Once you get past the first half of this, the second half is the biggest challenge, actually. I'd say if this little hole here worked better for controlling the flow of the milk, that would take care of most of the problems you have with the second half. But because this doesn't actually stop the milk from flowing, you kind of have an issue because you're trying to use your tongue to control the flow of the milk, but by using your tongue, that kind of keeps your mouth not fully open. So it's like you're trying to get the cereal in your mouth. It's a challenge. So I'm going to give our Crunch Cup here about a 7.5 out of 10. I'd say it's 75% effective, which isn't bad for what it's doing. I think what you could really do with this thing, I think a big improvement. It would take some engineering, I don't think anything crazy because they got thermoses that do this. If you had a little button you could press that would actually release the milk manually, as opposed to trying to use your tongue while you're emptying the cereal, use this ineffective air hole thing. If you had a little button you could press that would release the milk, that I think would take care of the problem. The mix that comes out is pretty good to start with, but like I say, when you get to the second half, that's when it would be nice to have a little button you could press because you're struggling at that point to get the cereal out. It's no longer flowing freely. You're having to kind of like tip this more and more, and the cereal's kind of starting to get stuck. You can't be driving and use this because the fact that you kind of like cover up your face. But this would work good just for transporting your milk and cereal somewhere else. Your cereal's not going to get soggy because it's in a separate chamber. Kind of a neat concept. I really think it could bump up to a 9 or maybe even a 9.5 if you had that release thing here. If this review is helpful, as they say, thumbs up, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Hopefully I can continue to do more of these things. I'm at the start of my December challenge of getting rid of my 47 boxes of cereal back there. So 1.5 videos a day is my challenge. See you soon.